everybody. Jason Barlow, Sell for 1%. Here with the whole 1% gang. Got Dave Barlow, our head broker, Big Michael Hopper, agent extraordinaire, and upper management, Jamie Edward Barlow. Jamie, you have a suburb of the week?
No, I don't, but Mike does.
I do.
Mike Hopper, you have
It's
a
me.
suburb of the week?
Hey guys. Yeah, we're doing
He's fired.
Clintonville, which is the lovely home to my mother-in-law and Jamie Barlow. I've spent a lot of time in Clintonville. I was laughing because we were talking about TJ's Country Place. If you've ever been down there and saw the giant red arrow, which is unfortunately no longer there, but TJ's is still there. They're in the Graceland Shopping Center.
So for the trivia, real quick, Mike,
Do it.
What was the giant red arrow originally for? What restaurant?
What restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, no idea.
Jerry's Drive-In.
Oh God, yeah, no, I have no idea about that.
Oh man, there's some history for you.
I'm not old enough, Dave.
Well, you're a Hillary guy. You never got over there.
No, I didn't. The community of Clintonville developed as the center of Clinton Township, actually named for U.S. Vice President George Clinton, part of the land grants given to the Continental Army soldiers in lieu of pensions in what used to be the Wyandotte Indian Territory. I'm sure Jay has opinions on that. For years, the steep hillsides discouraged development until farmland was purchased by the Bull family and then used for religious services. Clinton Chapel was constructed in 1838 and served as the stop for the Underground Railroad over the next 2 decades. So Thomas Bull was a Methodist
Mike
minister.
has opinions about that.
Sure do. Thomas Bull, a Methodist minister, along with his wife, 4 sons, and one of his 2 daughters, moved to Central Ohio from Vermont in 1812. In 1813, they actually purchased 600 acres along the Columbus-Worthington Pike from John Rathbone, which I don't know who that is, but that's who owned it previously. Before the Adams administration patented the land to Rathbone, it had been part of the United States military lands, which was set aside to be given to the Revolutionary War soldiers as both a pension and as a payment for their services in the War of Independence. Once Thomas Bull and his family settled the land and began to farm, they were faced with an issue, namely there was no one else around. There was nowhere they could easily go to buy shoes, have a blacksmith, carpentry work done. They were completely isolated, and it was tough to manage the 600-acre farm because of that reason. In an attempt to draw others to the area, they actually built businesses in the center of Clinton Township along the plank toll road that later became North High Street, the main north and south thoroughfare connecting Columbus to Worthington, Ohio. They actually offered to give these buildings away to any skilled laborers who would stay, and then a post office designated Clintonville opened in the center of the district on September 13th, 1847. So I thought that was kind of cool that they actually built all these businesses along what's now North High Street, and instead of charging people, they gave them away because they needed the services in order to keep the farm running.
That's cool.
So Clintonville's divided into 2 distinct regions. There's the North High Street forming the demarcation line, and the property to the west of North High Street up to the Olentangy River. And then it's lower in elevation than the property to the east of North High Street. So there's a lot of different neighborhoods in here. So 6 Glacial Ravines, Glen Echo, Walhalla, Overbrook, Beechwald, which I'm most familiar with, Delwanda, and Bull Moose Run. They cut through the area from the east to the west. So you have South Clintonville, South and North Broadway. Housing stock is a mix of single and multifamily homes in that area. The majority of these houses were built prior to 1930. You have North Clintonville, which is immediately north of Broadway and stretching to the Overbrook Ravine. This central section of Clintonville shows the progression in architectural styles and lifestyle considerations from 1910 to 1950. So houses in this portion of Clintonville were built as higher end properties. They lacked alleyways and contained driveways as a nod to the increasing importance and the role of the automobile, which I also found super cool between that time when the car was invented. Beechwald, named for the Jeffrey family summer estate on North High Street, Beechwold contains the widest variety of housing, from the Cape Cod influenced starter homes to high style housing that occupies the land comprising the Formy Jeffrey family estate, loosely defined as the area north of Henderson Road and south of Riverview Park.
That's cool.
And then you have north of Morse. North of Morse is extending north of the Worthington city limits. This area is home to Bull Moose Run, the recently refurbished Graceland Shopping Center, which I stated, the Ohio School for the Deaf, which runs along Indianola Avenue there, the Ohio State School for the Blind, and a new park has recently been created on the site for Sharon Elementary School. So 4 big areas in Clintonville. I think the coolest part about Clintonville to me is kind of what they stated too, is there's a large variety of houses in that area. It's not like your newer build communities that have a lot of kind of cookie cutter shaped homes. It's very distinct from other parts of the city. Moving on, we like to talk about food. We already talked about TJ's, which I used to eat there when I was actually fairly young. Now I take the family there every once in a while. Another good place, and I don't know if anybody's had it, if you're a fan of pho, there is a 6-1 Pho cafe there, which I ate at, and it's a different style of food. It's Vietnamese, and it was very good. It was definitely a different experience, and it's the only place I've had it at, but it was delicious. It's almost like the Chipotle of pho food. You get to select kind of how you want to build your bowl. Smith's Deli, absolutely love Smith's Deli. I've been there multiple times. Now there's a pizza place here that I haven't been to, and I don't know if you guys have. It's Gatto's.
Yeah, Gatto's is
You had Gatto's pizza? I haven't had it. It looks absolutely delicious though.
Yes, it is very good.
I was gonna say that's kind of it for the background and history. I know that you guys have spent, especially Jamie, has a lot of time in Clintonville. Again, my mother-in-law lives in that area too, but any additional cool things you guys want to add? I think the housing stock thing is what stuck out most to me.
Yeah, right by that 6-1 Pho, as you go down Henderson is Watterson High School.
Watterson, yep.
I think Watterson is part of Clintonville, and a lot of Clintonville natives go to IC, Immaculate Conception Middle School, and then end up going to Watterson.
Yeah, I see there on Broadway.
Yeah, and Cornerstone Deli on North High Street is another one of those food places that's kind of, unless you live in the area, you don't really go to, but it's very good as well.
I'm a sucker for a deli.
Yeah, and right on that strip there in North High, there's a lot of kind of, I don't even know how to word it. I don't know if you call it not progressive, but I mean, they have a store that just sells cacti.
No kidding.
Cactus stuff, yeah. A lot of kind of niche stores like that. Hobby Town, Ragorama. There's actually 3 antique malls right on the corner of East Como here in High Street. And so a lot of antique stores, things like that. It's very cool.
Is the beer and wine shop still there where you go to buy your ingredients to make beer and wine?
I'm not sure.
It's down towards Broadway and High Street on the south side of High Street. I'm sorry, on the west side of High Street. Just a little hole in the wall. So, and then of course we always went to, when I had to, Longview Barbershop. It's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't need their services as much anymore.
Yeah, I always thought that Beechwold was a separate neighborhood community.
So
that tried to lump themselves in with Clintonville, but the one thing that I remember, in that area, and the kids go to Whetstone if they're in that general area, Dominion Middle School up to Whetstone, and our current mayor went to Whetstone, an alum, which was Dad's rival at Centennial on the other side of the river, with the enemies. And the Park of Roses is down there. The Park of Roses is an awesome spot.
Ball fields, yep.
They do 4th of July fireworks there that are good ones in the area. The Park of Roses.
Yep.
Me and Jamie played rugby down there. The Whetstone, when John Columbus founded Columbus, he went down and declared this stone is wet, and so they named it Whetstone.
Oh
And so
boy,
you can look up that piece of trivia.
picking things up now. John Columbus.
Parker
No,
Rose.
I've spent a lot of
Oh
time
boy.
at the Park of Roses. My wife, that's where she had her baby shower, was at the Park of Roses there. And then another interesting thing that I forgot to mention, but I didn't realize, that the Columbus Zoo was first located in Clintonville, opening in May 1905. The Columbus Zoological Gardens was located in what is now Old Beachwald at Beachwall Road, North High Street.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. And Jason, there was something in here that you mentioned with Beachwald, that I think there was a city ordinance, or the Clintonville Council got involved and actually absorbed Beachwald into Clintonville.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember like there used to be a sign there, and then when I first started in real estate, before I started in real estate, when Dad was doing it, and I was like 16 or 17, on the webpage there was a whole Beachwold city section, and I was like, what's Beachwold? And I remember learning about that at that time, and then every time I meet somebody from Clintonville, we'll make kind of a joke about that, like it's almost an inside joke with people like the other side of the river.
Yeah.
That's a baseball joke, and if you're in Clintonville, NCIL baseball is awesome. Check them out. But, they're not allowed to come on the other side of the river with NCS baseball.
That's
right. So there's a whole rift there. It's like, the McCoys or whatever, the Hatfields.
Yes, Hatfields and the McCoys.
Yeah, it's NCS and NCIL. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Well, the one thing you mentioned there was the Jeffries Estate.
Yeah.
So one of the roads there, just north of Henderson Road, is Jeffries. And one of my buddies, Doug O'Brien, who I played ball with. So we did get along back in the day, because boys from the west side and the east side of the river all played baseball together with the Comets and the Mercuries and the North Columbus Raiders. And so we did get along, but one of my buddies from high school, Doug O'Brien, he went to Watterson. I was at Centennial, but we played ball together, lived there on Jeffries. And that's a very cool street to drive down if you get a chance, because there's a definite difference on the west side versus the east side.
There is
on the houses.
Yeah, for sure.
And so interesting that street obviously was named after the Jeffries Estate. I'm guessing it was there on Jeffries.
Yes. Yep, it was. And
that's cool.
Yeah. Well, if you're thinking about buying, as you can see in this whole video, this one and all the ones we've done in our neighborhoods, we've spent our entire lives here in Columbus. We know the area very well, especially Jamie, who lives in this part of Clintonville. But if you are interested, or you're looking for this a property in this part of town, we definitely got your back. We know what we're talking about. We can find exactly what you're looking for and negotiate you the best price and get you to the closing table. So if you have any questions, you need more information on this part of town, please give us a call when you can, but we're here to help. Thanks for coming to our Neighborhood of the Week video.
I have one more before you cut the end of this off. If you're into haunted houses, Google the Mooney Mansion in Clintonville. It's in Walla Hollow Ravine, and that one's a cool one.
Yep.
Check out that one.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Stay away from Jamie's house.